Welcome to episode 119 of the Tip In Maple Leaf podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
On tonight's podcast, we're going to look at the NHL changing its COVID protocols. We look back on the Leafs destroying the Ottawa Senators. Nick Ritchie, a healthy scratch for the first time this season, probably not the last. Justin Hall, 2 tampons in the nose, going for the Norris Trophy after his performance against the Sens. The Leafs superfan in attendance. What the NHL's plan is for Canadian teams going forward, what the new schedule might look like. New year, new segment. Stay tuned for that. And we do a little Saturday Night 5. All this and more tonight on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. How are you, Dale?
Happy New Year, Chatty. Happy New Year.
2022.
2022. Happy New Year, listeners. 2022. You've seen that thing going around where it's like 2022, like part 2 of 2020.
Yeah, I get it. Because nobody liked 2020.
No, we don't want a sequel to that. But anyway, hey, dude, guess what? Bringing in the New Year's, like, I didn't really pay that close of attention to any of the like stuff they were doing in the States. Like, did you watch anything on TV on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I had it on in the background. Made a point to watch Journey play Don't Stop Believing at midnight.
Where were they, in New York or no?
Yeah, the Times Square one.
They were at Times Square
with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
Wasn't very good.
No.
Well, I didn't know like half the musical acts. They'd be like, biggest star in the world coming up, and then he'd come out on stage and I'd be like, who? I don't even know this song. I don't know who this guy is. Not that I'm old or anything.
No, I mean,
I even said while I was watching it, I'm like, I didn't really know who the people were in the early 2000s because it wasn't my taste of music. So I'd be like, I don't know this. Anyway, it is what it is. And,
so crowd wise though, like this is where I was getting at, bringing it kind of back.
Yeah.
Like, there were some, like I've gone to Niagara Falls for New Year's before. They usually do like a big outdoor concert there, fireworks and stuff. It's been good. Sometimes it's shit depending on who's playing. This year they had it all planned to go. I think it was going to be like Blue Rodeo and Serena Ryder. I forget who else was going to be there, but
know her.
Yeah. Anyway, like canceled, obviously, even though it was outdoors, whatever, canceled just because, well, if you live in Ontario, you can't do anything anymore. Yeah. Like you literally can't do anything.
You can. Well, you can.
We're lucky we can go outside. Seriously.
You can, but you can't do anything fun.
No, you can't.
You can't do anything.
Man.
You gotta go to Costco. You can do that. Got to go to Walmart.
That is not fucking fun. None of those things are fun.
No, you want to go to Walmart? You can do that. But
shopping lineups. Man,
do you want to go have dinner and listen to a little live music? No,
fucking way, man.
Ain't doing that.
So what were the crowds like? Like packed, I'm sure, because COVID doesn't exist. COVID doesn't exist in the States.
Yeah, completely packed. Like most people had masks on.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
But it was packed. Like it was busy.
You know what I've never understood about this Times Square fucking bullshit? Like, how the fuck, when you're sandwiched in there, like maybe not the last couple of years because of COVID, but when it was just used to be normal and people would go to Times Square for New Year's, like you're sandwiched in like fucking sardines in Times Square there. Like, what are you doing? Like to go to the bathroom and stuff? Like, are you weaseling your way out of that and then coming back to find your spot to go to the bathroom? Like, that's a crazy, like, what do people do? And you're freezing cold.
We've been in that situation.
Not like that though, really.
Yeah, if you remember, we went to Molson Park to watch like an all-day concert where there was tons of bands, and because we were young, we were like, let's go right to the front row.
Yeah, but not in the winter, man.
No, not in the winter, but still, we went to the front row for like the first act, and then of course the place got fuller and fuller, and we got sandwiched in.
Yeah,
and it's like you're claustrophobic.
Yeah,
you're looking back behind you. There's 20,000 people, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna shit my pants."
No, I know. I remember you stayed up there for a while. I had to get out of there, but I'm pretty sure if it's the same show.
I was the only one left. You left, and then Matt got security to lift him out.
Yeah.
And like take him away.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then I just stayed. I stayed, and then finally I was like, I gotta get out.
I'm not a front rower, man. I'm not a front rower for that kind of shit. But that was I'm pretty sure we're dating ourselves here, but I'm pretty sure that was 1996, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette,
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Our Lady Peace opened the show. First time that I ever even heard or saw Our Lady Peace.
Yeah.
And that was we were there to see Alanis because she was fucking huge, right?
Oh, everybody owned Jagged Little Pill in the 90s. Like it was the thing to do. And she put on a dynamite show. By the time she hit the stage, we were about 50,000 people back. Like we had got out of the front row and we were nice and spaced by the trees.
Here's a little Alanis trivia for you right off the top. Ready?
All right, hit me.
Do you know who was playing drums?
Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah, Taylor Hawkins.
Come on, man. Well, did you not watch the documentary on HBO?
I have not. No.
You should watch it. It's awesome.
On Alanis?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it. Anyway, so
he's in it, Taylor, and
is he in it?
Yeah, because he was part of the band for that whole.
Yeah. Dave Grohl stole him away.
Dave Grohl did steal him away, and he admits that. And Alanis was pissed.
You want to quickly, before we get into the Leafs, tell the story about when we saw Our Lady Peace. Oh, were you? I'm sure you were there. I think this was the first somersault, and we saw the Foo Fighters played in the afternoon. They had a gig the night before in like Vegas.
I was there, man.
From Vegas to Barrie. They barely made their set time, and they just tanked it, man. They were not feeling that afternoon set.
No, they were late. They were like 20 minutes late. They came on stage, set up in 3 minutes.
It looked like they were drinking all night, didn't get any sleep, and got up and played again.
Yeah, and they did like 7
in the afternoon.
They did like 7 songs, and they're like, "Thank you, good night."
Yeah, that was not good, that one. But anyway,
that was when you made a backstage pass and walked backstage.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, sorry, no, you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah, man. Molson Park, good times. Good times at Molson Park in Barrie. So anyway,
I'm pretty sure we were teenagers, but I'm pretty sure we had some alone time with Spice Girl magazines.
At Molson Park.
No, back at the cottage.
Oh yeah. Those were good times.
We did. That was before the internet. So we were like, all right, well, we have these pictures of the Spice Girls. We'll each take turns just going.
Baby Spice, man. Yes, sir. And Ginger, yeah, that was where it's at. The redhead.
Posh, man. Posh. It was all posh all the time for me. Anyway, want to get to hockey?
Yeah, man. So the Leafs play their first game since December 14th. The Ottawa Senators also had not played in the last 2 weeks. So really was looking forward to this slobber knocker. Like, I just thought this was going to be a sloppy fucking just slop fest all over the place. And for one team it was, and for the other team, I guess not so much. The Leafs, I mean, I'm glad it was against the Senators because, well, I mean, Jesus, Ottawa, man. Like, Matt Murray, this fucking guy, dude, do you remember when we were on this podcast, we were like, before they got Campbell and like you were the whole Freddie Anderson thing, we were unsure Fred was going to be back and whatever. And we were bringing up the fact of like, oh, maybe Dubas trades for Matt Murray, or maybe they get Matt Murray. Like, do you remember
the guy was the Stanley Cup champion?
I know.
Pittsburgh.
I was kind of like, yeah, like that wouldn't be a bad thing. Like that'd be okay. And I don't know what his price tag is. Is it 5.5, 6.5?
I'm not exactly sure.
Whatever it is, it's too fucking much. It's too fucking much.
He's lost it.
This guy has just gone. It's over for the like. This guy's got, well, minus his 2 Stanley Cup rings. This guy's got like Andrew Raycroft written all over him.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. First couple seasons, good. Change of scenery, and he just bounces around a bit. Like, Ottawa would love to get him out of there if they could. In a fucking second. This guy's brutal. Like, he's fucking brutal, man.
He was bad. He was and some of the goals were good goals by the Leafs.
I understand that, but just
some of them were not.
His body language and his whole overall, just like the guy, I'm not a fan. I'm glad the Leafs did not end up making a deal for Matt Murray. But anyway, so yeah, what did you think going into this? Like, how did you think it was going to play out? What did you think of the game?
Well, I was exactly like you. I thought it was going to be a just so sloppy. They hadn't played in a while. I thought it would be high scoring. I didn't realize only one team would be doing all the scoring. I thought Campbell might be a little shaky. He was in COVID protocol. I don't know what the rules are, but I don't think you can skate or come to the rink, right?
No, you can't.
So that's got to be tough, especially for a goalie to not get the feel. But Campbell, really, he didn't really have anything. He didn't have a tough night.
No, he didn't. So the shots ended up being Dude, almost outshot, almost double. Like the Leafs had 40 shots on net. The Senators registered 23 shots on net. They almost doubled them up on shots, man.
I think they had 4 in the first period.
The Sens, yeah. I think you're right.
Which is just ridiculous. Especially, there's no excuse for that when you've been off for 2 weeks. Like, you're well rested.
Agreed. A lot of power plays in this game. That's the one thing I didn't like about this for the Leafs. 1 for 6 on the power play, and the goal came from the second unit. But not gonna really nitpick a 6-0 fucking thumping of the Ottawa Senators. And let me just say this before I get into some of the goals and the stats here. Like, there's nothing I love more than this. Like, there is nothing I love more than this.
You hate the Ottawa Senators.
I despise the Ottawa Senators. Like, the Sens come to town, the Leafs just fucking pump them 6-0. Yeah, that's like, but anyway, yeah. So there's nothing I love more than this. Like, seeing the Leafs just fucking pump the Sens. I absolutely love that. So 6-0 final. But dude, like, just some interesting things happen in this game. Like, fucking Justin Hall takes Sandin. So basically everybody played. I think Muzzin was the only regular that did not play. And Nick Ritchie, healthy scratch for the first time all season. So they're finally healthy up front. Sheldon Keefe says, "Sorry, Big Nick, take a seat, bud." What'd you think of that one?
I thought it was the right move.
Engvall.
If you've listened to this podcast, it'd be no surprise that the tip in. We always said that. How many times did we talk about projecting the lineup when all the forwards are healthy? And every time we basically got down to Nick Ritchie should be the guy out, but we didn't think they would take him out. We were like, they won't because somebody loves him, but he did it. Keefe was like, no.
I'm very surprised. Like, obviously with Mikheyev back and Engvall's speed, here's the thing. Nick Ritchie, out of all those forwards that dressed last night, Nick Ritchie's not as good a skater as any one of them, right? And I just think Keefe and Dubas are so, which is kind of weird why they even signed him in the first place, but I just think Keefe and Dubas are so high on the being able to skate, and Ritchie just does not really fit that mold. So I don't know, but I kind of was surprised, man. I kind of thought like it would be Engvall I thought it would be Engvall, actually. That's what I thought.
And I think every time we did that prediction, we always came down to the same thing. We were always like, it should be Nick Ritchie, but it's probably going to be Pierre Engvall, right? But he kept Engvall in. And Engvall, I'm not an Engvall fan. He does some good things, but I think
you're not a Ritchie fan.
But I'm not
either,
a
right?
Nick Ritchie fan. And if push came to shove, Engvall's played better this year. Every forward has played better this year than Nick Ritchie, and he deserved to be the healthy scratch. He was the healthy scratch. I don't know what you're going to do with them. I have no idea. They're over the cap. Magnum didn't play last night. He's
COVID. So it ended up going up to 15. So we can pretty much like smooth sailing from here on out for the Leafs if we can get this fucking thing going again, because 75% of the fucking players had COVID within 2 weeks. All of them, the whole fucking team.
Yeah, and now they don't need to be tested again until for 90 days. So they're good.
Dude, there's like 5 guys that didn't get it. Marner, Matthews, and Matthews had it previously. Marner, Matthews, Bunting, Cache. I'm forgetting somebody, but Hall, I think. Justin Hall.
Yeah, it might have been Hall.
And so basically, like, it ripped through them. They're good for the next 3 months. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, but I was disappointed not seeing Liljegren out there. But mustache, like, fuck, man, I'm loving that. Like, we touched on that briefly last podcast, but is it not great just to see Austin like?
It is, but I feel like he had a hotter streak going without the stash. So
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Mustache.
It's funny if you play NHL 22, like, if you're William Nylander, like Nylander had a mustache, he has facial hair, but they just make him look like just a regular guy with blonde hair. But they go out of their way to put so much detail into Austin Matthews' mustache in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they zoom in on him taking a face off or something, it's like perfect. It looks exactly like Austin Matthews. Like that mustache has become a part of him.
Well, they better get it right when he's on the fucking cover, right? Like, come on now.
That's true. Yeah, he's on the cover.
They probably spent more time on getting that mustache perfected than they did on anything else in that entire fucking game. It had to be on point, that puppy.
It is. Like, it is creepy. The mustache looks more like his mustache than he looks like himself in the game.
That's hilarious.
It's they did a great job on the stash.
Okay. So
Anyway, Leafs win 6-0.
Leafs win 6-0, but this is crazy, man. Like
Easy win.
About, quarter of the way, I don't know. Like, I think it was the 14-minute mark or so of the third period. A lot of penalties in this game. Like I said, like the Leafs were 1 for 6 on the power play, but Ottawa 0 for 3 on the power play. Leafs score 2 shorthanded goals on one penalty kill.
Yeah, on one penalty kill.
Dude.
Like within a minute.
And honestly, we'll get to Mikheyev later because I want to talk about him. I thought he looked dynamite. Ilya Mikheyev, okay, look, just flying out there. Absolutely fucking flying.
He's always flying, man. He's always flying. But what have we always said? Can't finish. If he can do this,
I know.
He's always going to get breakaways. He's always going to be a step ahead. If he can finally put the puck in the net, holy shit, you got to steal.
So they were killing a penalty. And Brody made a nice play down low in their own end, got the puck to Camp. They had a 2-on-1. Here comes nose plugs coming up the ice. Justin Hall, after taking Rasmus Sandin's skate right in the fucking chops. Man, blood all over the place. What does Justin Hall say? No, just give me the puck, bud. I'm going to rip it right home. Pops it home for a shorthanded goal. Hall's first of the season.
Yeah.
Justin Hall will get
back into him. And if we can be perfectly honest, almost every NHL goalie would have stopped that shot.
Oh,
he 100%. Shot it right at Matt Murray.
No, I know. It went right through him.
He didn't go looking for 5-hole or top shelf. Like, he got that and just shot it at the net, right at the goalie, and it went in.
Yeah.
So,
love to see that. Justin Hall, our boy.
Way to
out
go.
Of the doghouse. Out of the doghouse. Halsey back in it.
See, you hit the showers a few times.
I know.
Get some nose plugs.
New year, fresh, ready to go. So groin's looking good. I like that.
Hottest Leaf scorer in 2022. Justin Hall and William Nylander.
So on the same fucking penalty kill, man, Brody makes another fucking nice play. Kind of gets
Brody had a game.
Yeah, Brody was great. Get to him a bit later too. But Brody, and I think he gets it to Kerfoot, and then Mikheyev just kind of makes his own fucking breakaway, partial break, but you could see that he was going to blow past the Ottawa defenseman, and he did, and he fucking roofed it on Murray again, and another not great goal. And it's 2-0 with 2 shorties on the same fucking penalty kill. I'm like, what is this, man? Justin Hall and Ilya Mikheyev get the 2 fucking shorties? What? Yeah.
2 guys you want to see get going.
Both goals created by TJ Brody. Yeah, we'll get to Brody in a bit.
Oh, he had a game. He had a game, man.
And then speaking of that, we go to the second period. Brody says, okay, enough of the assist. I'm going to fucking wrap one in myself. Wrap around, pops it home, 3-0 Leafs.
Turns into fucking Phil Esposito and just does the backhand wraparound. It was Brody. And did you see his defensive play where he stretched himself out and just kept on sliding and the guy couldn't do anything?
Yeah. He whale of a game, fucking TJ Brody. Oh, unbelievable.
Both ends of the ice. He was like the best player on the ice.
His best game as a Leaf, I would say. Like, he's
now it came against an Ottawa team that played like shit, but we'll take it.
Promising sign for Brody, man. Fuck, dude. And then we go to the third, it was 3-0, and then just fucking floodgates open. Nylander ends up scoring his 14th. Mikheyev they were 0 for 5 on the power play. So when they got their 6th power play late in the third, Keefe started the second power play unit, and they scored like right away. Mikheyev, right?
Yeah, and the old Jason Spezza slap shot off the side of the net, slid it over to Mikheyev, wide open net. Like, I mean, wide open net. Yeah, Matt Murray, I don't know where the hell he was.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. So, and then Nylander. So good to see Mikheyev get a couple. Mikheyev looked fucking awesome. He looked awesome.
His speed, he has not lost his step. The amount of time he hasn't played,
dude, he's
still the fastest guy on the ice.
Had a good training camp. Breaks his fucking thumb in the last fucking preseason game. Misses.
You mean groin?
Yeah, that's right. Pulled his fucking groin. Missed October, November. Came back in December. Played that Edmonton game, I believe. And then fucking COVID, 2 weeks back on.
Got Omicron groin COVID.
Like, jeez, the guy comes back for one game, then the COVID pause.
Gets COVID.
Like, fuck, man. But he looked fucking great. So I don't know if it's just like he's fresh. He should be fresh as a fucking daisy. But, dude.
Yeah, but you would think like maybe his skating would be a little slow or he'd be a step behind. But
not even close.
There were a couple times. Well, on his first goal, I mean, he took one stride and the Ottawa defenseman was basically like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm not even trying.
So, we'll get back to McKay. So just to put a bow tie on the game. So Campbell gets a 23 save shutout. Leafs win 6-0. Nylander 2 goals, McKay 2 goals, Brody and Justin Hall. And we got Edmonton coming in on Wednesday. And then we'll see what's up with the schedule after that. They're going on a roadie in the States for 4 games. So get back to maybe some kind of normalcy heading into this week, maybe, kind of. By the end of the week, like come Saturday.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe. Fuck. Well, once they get to the States, everything will be fine because COVID doesn't exist down there, right? That's just the whole thing.
It exists, but they're just like, let's not kid ourselves. Here in Ontario, they're kind of like, all right, we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. Like I know they're closing things down, but they're just letting things go.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back to a little bit later. Like I want to get back into McKay and back into Brody and specifically those two. But so let's just go quickly. Like the NHL changes its COVID protocols from a 10-day self-isolation / quarantine, whatever you want to call it, to a 5-dayer,
which follows the CDC.
I would say, I wouldn't say they're putting the hammer down, but they're showing the provincial governments of Canada. They're like, what are you guys doing here? Like, what are you doing? Like, we're not sending American teams up if you're not putting anybody in the building. So Ottawa can play Toronto and Edmonton can come in and play Toronto on Wednesday, but we're not sending Carolina up. We're not sending whoever. Like, if you're not having fans, we're not sending the American teams up.
It's a greed thing.
Well,
it's a greed thing.
I have to say I'm in favor of it. I'm not a fence sitter anymore. I'm just like, put the fucking vaccinated people in the building and let's fucking go. That's just where I'm at.
So basically just how it was before.
Just how it was. Because I
will admit it. Like, it was good to see them play last night, and it was a great game, and they won 6-0. But
I hated it. It
loses without the fans. It sucks. It sucks without the fans.
Except for this aspect of it. Morgan Riley, Spezza, a bunch of guys got caught fucking hammering F-bombs. Did you see the mics picking that up?
Yeah, because you can't hear anything but the players.
Like Riley, yeah. Like that aspect I love. But
that one guy who they kept, the super fan who they just kept panning to.
Dude, we'll get to him. Listen, the announcer, he's no Andy Frost, I'll just say that. But shout out Frosty. Leaf Talk, yeah, big fans. Frosty back in the day. But he's doing the announcing.
Good evening, Mr. Frost.
Yeah. Mike and Buffalo. Shout out.
Mike and Buffalo.
But
shout out to our good buddy Mike and Buffalo. Anyway.
But dude, he's doing the announcing last night. He's announcing the penalties. He's announcing the goal scoring as enthusiastic as he would if like the fans were there, right? William Nylander, right? And they didn't pump in any crowd noise. So it's just fucking crickets. You can't hear anything. And I just found it funny. Like, he's really giving it with the, like, announcing the goals. And there's nobody there.
And they still do the hockey things with the music that involves the fans. You know, like they play the organ noises that usually fans clap along to and stuff. I'm like, why? Like, is the one guy in that booth? Is he clapping? That's it.
I know, dude. The Raptors did a Serge. The Clippers were in town on Friday, and Serge Ibaka was up. The Raptors did a tribute. It was Serge Ibaka's first time back since they won the championship, and they did a tribute, like a video package and all that. There's nobody fucking there.
I know, but it was aired on TV.
It was aired on TV, but Serge is just like sitting on the bench, like sitting on his hands. Like they couldn't give like a crowd wave, couldn't do anything. It was just like, okay, thanks.
Awkward. It was super awkward.
Thanks a pant load, Chet. But anyway, so the no fans, like, I mean, look, where do you think we're going here with this? Like, how long do you think this is? Like I said last podcast, I get the case numbers are high. They're spiking at all-time highs. No surprise. We're just coming through the holidays. Christmas, people got together. New Year's, people got together. Guaranteed. Okay, so you know what?
It won't be long, and they'll just open up. They'll just open up the arena again to fans. Maybe half capacity, but there'll still be 10,000 fans in the building.
Okay. Okay. So I
It
hope
won't
you're
be
right.
long. It won't be long.
I hope you're right. Do you feel because do you think they're feeling pressure though from outside sources like the NHL and just people have had a fucking enough period? Or what do you think? Like, because this is a drastic, like, for them.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
they handled everything so cautiously and so fucking basically like, well, be afraid of everything. We can't do anything. Like, just stay the fuck home and don't breathe. Don't even breathe.
I don't know. It's not black and white. It's so gray everywhere that I have no idea. But what I do know is that what they're doing as far as testing, and like I said, people listening right now who have kids in Ontario know this. You no longer have any idea what's going on at your school. When you hear things like that, it tells me that they're kind of pivoting towards, all right, let's just let this go.
Yeah.
And to bring it back to the podcast, I would say that down the road, maybe by February, maybe by the end of January, they'll be like, you know what? 10,000 people, got to show your passport, yada, yada, yada. They may even do the whole no concessions thing, no beer, no popcorn. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's headed either.
This
but
this no fans thing will not stick.
Yeah, I don't. I hope you're right. I hope you're fucking right, man. Anyway, so okay, let's move on from that. I mean, fucking COVID, whatever. It's
one thing.
Yeah.
Our last podcast, we did, or Dale came up with this brilliant thing where he dug deep into the Pornhub searches of 2021, and I thought it was hilarious. It was great. It was great. We got a message from a longtime listener. Okay, guy's name's Ken. That's all he said was his name was Ken.
Yep.
He lives in Manitoba.
Yeah.
Okay. So we ranked Manitoba last on the list. You did.
Yeah,
you did
just because they're searching
because the search with lesbians.
Search was so lame, man.
So he messaged us, just said, bullshit. Manitobian. Never searched lesbian once in my life.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
In Ontario,
Ken,
okay, that's fine.
Somebody is.
Somebody is. A lot of people are. A lot of people
it
are.
may not be you.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was really funny. Like he was almost offended.
Ken, my recommendation to you, my friend, would be take a trip out west. You might want to explore Alberta. It sounds like they got some cool shit going down out there.
It might be a little too much for you. You might want to start slow. Go to Ontario.
Stay away from those fucking Maritimes. I'll tell you that much.
If you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to like the last 10 minutes of our last podcast. You will understand everything completely. But yeah, so Ken was he was bullshit.
Okay. So stay tuned later. I should take this time to say we got a little top 5 Saturday Night 5 coming this evening. Chad, why don't you tell the good listeners what that top 5 list is going to be?
Tonight on the Saturday Night Top 5, it is top 5 Tonys.
We love a good Tony on this show.
Oh,
the top 5 Tonys of all time still to come later. And even a little later than that, we got a new segment coming. You know what?
And we also have a guest joining us. We should mention this. We should have mentioned it off the top.
Yeah, we forget some things. We're just getting back into the swing. We're just getting back into the swing.
After we take the break, after we do a couple segments, to end off the show, the young offender from all over the world. I don't know where he's from. He's from everywhere. He's going to be joining us to look ahead at 2022, give us some predictions on what he thinks the Leafs might do, how this team might be different. It's going to be all good. But our new segment, other than the Saturday Night Top 5, tips from the tip-in. When there's no tip-in, you'll get a tip from the tip-in.
That's right. That's right. AKA hit the tits, baby. Hit the tits.
Hit the tits.
Tip in tips. When there's no tip in this week or any week,
you get tip in tips.
If Tavares doesn't get a tip in or whatever, we're going to give you our own little tips. Little friendly advice from the tip in. Tip in tips. New segment. Stay tuned for that a little later.
All right.
Nick Ritchie. Healthy scratch. Does this continue? What's going on here? How long does
we talked about this already.
I know, but I'm interested to see like lengthwise. Does he get back in, or is he the?
All right, I got a bold prediction on this.
2.5 million healthy scratch. How long can that go on for?
I got a bold prediction about this. I got a bold prediction. 2 weeks, they're gonna run with this lineup. Keefe is not gonna put him back in if he's winning, especially if he's winning like they did last night. If this continues and the team keeps winning and the forwards look this good, 2 weeks from today, by mid-January, Nick Ritchie will be on waivers. He'll be on waivers.
Wow. That's a bold prediction, man. I would have no problem. I would actually prefer if they put him on waivers, clear the cap space. It's a fucking bust. Like, how does that work with cap space? If they put him on waivers and
if they put him on waivers and someone claims them,
he would clear 100%.
The heavens open up. If somebody or if he clears waivers, they can send him down, I think, but you don't get the full 2.5 million cap space. You get a certain percentage of it.
Right.
I think that's where it's at. I think they're so tight up against the cap. They got to save every money they can. I'm calling it right now that 2 weeks, or I'll say mid-January, by mid to late January, Nick Ritchie will be on waivers. And that's if this forward team plays like they did, because, man, those forward lines were rolling.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I 100% am with you. I just don't know if that's what I would do, and that's what I would like to see happen. I'm not sure if that's where their mindset is at this time. Ilya Mikheyev did more in one game than Nick Ritchie has done all fucking season long. That is a fucking fact, and that is fucking sad. Like, Mikheyev was more noticeable last night than Ritchie has been all fucking 30 games he's played this season.
He's got more goals.
More goals in one. You guys played one fucking game. Like, fuck, man.
That's what.
So like, that's crazy though. Like that, it's accurate. Like, Mikheyev literally played 2 games.
Ritchie's searching Manitoba, but Mikheyev is straight to Alberta.
Oh fuck, 100%. So yeah, like, I mean, if anyone comes out, if they are going to give Ritchie another look, it's got to be. It has to be Angle. You're not taking Mikheyev out. That's fucking crazy. The guy, dude, he just brings so much. Like, if he can start burying the puck, like you said off the top, just even a little bit more. I don't know.
If his shooting percentage went up just a couple percentages, all of a sudden you have a third line. Now you shut down Matthews' line, great. You shut down the Tavares line, great. But if the third line can pop in goals too, look out. And then even with Spezza and Simmons and Engvall, they could even get the odd goal here and there. Like, every line can score on any night.
You're right.
That's fucking dangerous, man.
You're right, man. And like, we're big fans of Kampf and Kase here. 2 great signings by Kyle Dubas, arguably the 2 best signings in the offseason. Yeah. And you could throw the Brunt in there too, but I think Kase and...
Did you know this? Marner, Matthews, Bunting, percentage-wise, the most efficient goal-scoring line in the NHL.
I didn't know that, but I'm not really
Their
surprised.
time on ice in 5-on-5 goals, higher than any line, higher than McDavid, higher than the Boston line of Pastrnak and Bergeron and Marchand, higher than them. Bunting, Matthews, Marner. Now, they haven't played a whole lot because of injuries and stuff, the 3 of them, but when those 3 are together, apparently most dangerous line, or the best scoring line 5-on-5.
Yeah, that's not that surprising to me to hear.
They also have one of the best scorers in the NHL on their lines.
Well, yeah, of course, man, of course. So anyway, yeah, like, and look, so just to put a bow tie on Kase, Kampf, and Mikheyev, like, I just think, like, Mikheyev, his entire time in Toronto, has not played with, he's kind of bounced up and down. Like, they haven't really found a real fit for him. I think with those 2 guys, again, who I consider Kase and Kampf 2 of the smartest fucking players on the team, like, just responsibly, like, sound, like, everywhere. Like, they play the right way. Like, Babcock, right? Like, they do it right
every night.
So, but seriously, playing Mikheyev with those 2 guys, I think will help them get the Kase and Kampf get better, and it will definitely help Mikheyev get better. So that's a third line that I don't even touch it. I don't even consider fucking altering it. That is my third line, and that's fucking it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
every day of the week. And speaking of Babcock, did you hear that Edmonton was
rumors,
kicking the tires?
Rumors.
Well, rumors.
Ken Holland, right? History's there between those two. So I don't know if you got anything else, but the last thing I got about the Leafs is just not a lot of work last night, obviously, but Campbell gets his 4th shutout of the season. And this guy just like, it wasn't, Ottawa, whatever, but it was nice to see coming out of the pause. Like, hey, look at the guy that he was in the opposite net, fucking Matt Murray, goddamn shit show after fucking 2-week pause. Campbell just kind of looked like the same dude. Yeah, I'm here, baby. I got this I got it covered. No problem.
It was almost the perfect game to come back to.
Yeah,
it was like a nice, easy game.
Smooth load, just a nice smooth load.
Yeah, just both
tiny little load, just a tiny load.
Tiny load. Didn't hurt anything. Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Just both ends. Nice and clean.
Now, I guess I should say this because this is a very interesting development. Okay. Peter Mrazek. I don't know if you saw this. Maybe because the coaching staff were all wearing their masks behind the bench. So Mrazek, though, didn't look like he had a mask on his face.
No. Because he doesn't have a face problem.
That's what I thought. So I'm like this. I thought this guy I thought they were supposed to be the backup goalies were supposed to be wearing masks on the bench, and then I'm like, wait a second, he is.
He has N95 tidy whities
on his balls.
Right around on his groin.
On his groin, which basically is the in between area.
Yeah, but to protect your groin. You got to cover the balls.
So I'm like, good for this guy, man. He's really like someone's paying attention to what we're saying here. You got to mask up that groin area and get it fucking protected. So
we may not be sitting in our basement in front of our toys screaming at a camera, but people are listening.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Anything else, Leafs? Because I got a couple other cool things before we get to the Seggies, but just very quick. Anything else on the Leafs though? Or are we bow tying that?
We'll bow tie that.
So Wednesday night, Wednesday night against the Edmonton Oilers. We'll probably be back for a midweeker, folks, because we promised more episodes.
We'll be doing a quickie. Kipping quickies.
Just like
Saskatchewan. Number one Pornhub search in Saskatchewan, quickies.
Yep, that's where we're at.
So also the only province where you could have a game with full attendance. So maybe all the NHL teams.
No, but there's no games because
they don't have a team. They don't have a team, but they're the one province that doesn't have any rules right now or any restrictions.
Man, oh man. Okay, so listen, couple quick things. We'll hit the break. We'll come back and we'll do 2 segments to end the show.
And we have a guest.
That's right. Okay, St. Louis in Minnesota.
Did you say St. Lode?
Yes. Well, listen. Okay, St. Louis in Minnesota, like minus fucking 20 outside.
Oh my God, it was cold. It was colder than minus 20.
Maybe it was colder than that. Maybe it was colder. But the St. Louis Blues pulled the all fucking timer. Did you see them arrive at the fucking rink?
No, I missed that.
Oh my!
I saw them like come out onto the ice.
Dude, you missed them getting off the bus at the rink?
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Okay, when this show's over, you have to go and Google it because it's the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Minus 20, whatever it was in the afternoon. They pull up, day at the fucking beach, bud. They're all wearing flip-flops, shorts, tank tops, like beach shirts that are wide open, like so.
How did I not see that?
Sunglasses, like it's the middle of summer. They're getting off the bus like it's the middle of fucking summer, dressed in all their summer attire. An all-time fucking classic, man. Like I was like, yes, these guys, whoever came up with that idea, absolutely love it. Like it was like they were showing up at the beach and it's legit minus fucking 20. It was awesome. It was completely fucking awesome. You gotta watch that.
All right, we're gonna take a short break.
One more thing quickly, Chad, before we go to break.
Hit more. I thought you said one more thing that thing.
Sorry, I thought I said a couple more, but my bad. You know me, I'm never really done. But
no, he's never done.
I'll throw this in quick because this is like I couldn't believe this. I could not believe this. Okay. This isn't even hockey related, but this Pete Davidson motherfucker, okay? Pete Davidson on Saturday Night Live.
Then Kim Kardashian.
Dude,
this is like a month old, this news.
I am just new to it. I did not realize this was a thing. But
married to Ariana Grande.
No, they didn't end up getting married. They were engaged, I think.
Oh, sorry. Engaged to Ariana Grande.
Whatever.
Broke up with her. Dated
Kate Beckinsale, who is like an all-time MILF, all-time Fox, like super smoking fucking hot.
I'm sorry. This whole time he's like living in his...
She's got a daughter the same age as Pete Davidson, I'm pretty sure.
Breaks up with her, and now, just out of nowhere, Kanye and Kim Kardashian bring up Pete Davidson dating Kim. I don't understand. I don't know where the magic comes from.
Oh, dude, there's Davidson. So to end this, like, there's only one solution here. We all know now. You look at what Pete Davidson's been pulling down here. Kardashians, fucking Ariana Grande, Kate Beckinsale. I'm sure there's fucking more too.
He's got a huge personality.
He must have the biggest personality.
Like just anybody. A massive personality.
This guy must have a massive personality, like beyond belief.
Because like he's semi-famous, he's on SNL, and he's probably making decent money, but he's not Kanye.
He must be able to just feed these chicks personality all night long.
Who knows?
Man, he is stuffing them full of personality. It is ridiculous. The size of the size of Pete Davidson's personality is fucking mind-blowing.
We don't know, but we suspect he has a giant personality. We've never seen him in person, so we don't know.
He has a bulging personality. It is huge, ridiculous. Unbelievable. Pete Davidson, shout out. Good for you, buddy.
Pete Davidson, you are welcome on the show anytime.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we get back, Young Offender's going to join us to do some quick predictions on the 2022 season coming up, talk a few other things. Plus, we got a couple new segments, or we got one new segment, Tip in Tips, and Saturday Night 5, all coming up on the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast.
Start the new year off right. 'Tis the season to be horny at Brazzers.com. A special holiday deal. A special offer for a limited time only. Buy 1 year and get 6 months free at Brazzers.com. The only porn site for the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast. Start the new year off right with that sweet holiday deal from Brazzers.com.
All right, and we're back to the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast. So, do you want to do one of our segments?
Let's do the Tonys, baby.
Let's do the Tonys. Top
Saturday
five.
Night 5. Saturday Night
5. Let's hit it.
It's Saturday Night 5 with Chad and
On tonight, Saturday Night 5, we're doing top 5 Tonys of all time. Now, this doesn't have to be just hockey. This could be actor. This could be a neighbor. This could be just best Tonys ever. Dale, you're going first. Because that'll give you number 1. You do 5, 3, 1. I'll do 4 and 2.
Okay, fair.
I think our number 1 is the same anyway.
100%. I'm gonna go number 5. Started off with a nice, cool Tony. A really nice and cool Tony. This guy, possibly, arguably, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm talking Tony Montana. Mr. Tony Montana. That guy knows how to throw a ball.
Oh, okay.
Tony Montana spent most of his career, I believe, split between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that correct? I think it is.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Tony Montana, was he on your list or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I had a couple like Tonys that like the character name was Tony.
Yeah, that's fine. And just before we move off of Tony Montana, apparently Tony Montana and Big Jumbo Joe Thornton, good buds, those two. So that tells you everything you need to know about Joe Montana. If you're friends with Big Jumbo Joe Thornton, you're a friend of ours.
Absolutely.
Number four.
Number 4 is a character. It's character, and you can't touch his hair. I work so hard on my hair, but you don't touch my hair. This character was played by John Travolta in the 1977 movie Saturday Night Fever. This is Tony Manero.
No way,
Manero.
Man. Hey, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
And that line, "Don't touch my hair," as he sits down at the dinner table and his dad slaps him in the back of the head. And he's like, "Hey, don't touch my hair. I work so hard on my hair and you're touching my hair."
Dude, Travolta's name in Welcome Back, Kotter was Tony?
No, not Welcome Back, Kotter. Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, sorry. Why did I go to Welcome Back?
Because you always go to Welcome Back, Kotter. But mine is
you didn't
Tony
even
Manero. Tony. I thought you were just saying it because it's John Travolta. Tony Manero from Saturday Night Fever.
Quick trivia. What was Travolta's name in Welcome Back, Kotter?
Horseshack.
No. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Was it Tony?
I know it wasn't that. I don't know. I don't know if it was. That would be fucking incredible, but I can't remember. Hey, Mr. Carter.
Anyway, what's number 3? I remember now.
Johnny? Something like that?
Vinny Barbino.
Oh, Vinny. Of course, Vinny. Yeah, that makes sense.
Vinny. Hey, Mr. Carter.
All right. Number 3. We're going with a classic Toronto Blue Jay. Shortstop, second base, mainly shortstop, I believe. It's Tony Fernandez, World Series winner in the early 90s with the Toronto Blue Jays. One of the best Tonys ever, maybe the best Tony ever in Toronto sports, in Toronto sports scene history. Hey, anybody listening, if you can think of a better Tony that has played for the Leafs, the Raps, the Jays, please let us know. Tony Fernandez, number 3. What do you think of that one?
I actually had that one on my list.
Oh, sorry to steal your sunshine.
No, that's all right.
Was that your number 2?
No, it was. Yeah, well, yeah, it would have been on my list. I didn't really rank them. I'm just kind of throwing them out.
Okay.
All right. My number 2 is he's a singer. Can you guess who it's going to be? There's not too many.
I 100% know who it's going to be.
He's I think he's a Vegas lounge singer. I actually don't know, but he is like 90 years old and he's got a mustache right now. So
can you name any songs that he sings? Can you name one song by him? Go ahead and say who it is.
It's Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
You
name any Tony Bennett songs?
Oh God.
Well, I could not tell you one Tony Bennett song.
I get him mixed up, but he does like he does all the songs that everybody does. Like he has like Christmas albums. So I remember like at Christmas, you'd hear like Winter Wonderland, and it's just Tony being like, "Hey, walking in a winter, hey, we're walking in a." Tony's always go, "Hey."
Yeah, that's right. Tony's like, "Hey."
Like he would throw it in mid sentence. He'd be like, "Walking in a winter wonderland."
Tony's that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, do you want to do? I've got one more before my number 1. So do you want to
honorable mention?
Do you want to do an honorable mention each?
Yeah.
Or?
No, you do yours and then number 1 because we got a guest joining us.
Okay. Soon. Well, honorable mention. I mean, honestly, this is one of the best Tonys to ever play the game of hockey. Classic Chicago Blackhawks goaltender Tony Esposito, one of the best goalies ever.
Unreal.
Tony Esposito. Do you know where he started his NHL career?
Are you going to say the Peterborough Petes?
No, like his NHL.
Oh, sorry.
Career.
I thought you meant his hockey career. Toronto?
No, he spent 15 of 16 seasons.
I just picture him always with Chicago.
He spent 15 of his 16 seasons, I believe, with the Chicago Blackhawks. He started in the Montreal Canadiens organization. He was a backup there for a while, and then I think even a third stringer. But I believe he never won a cup with the Blackhawks. He did make the final, I think, a time or two, but he never won a cup with the Blackhawks. I believe he has his name on the cup for being part of the Habs organization that won, but he didn't play. There's a little fun fact for you about
Tony trivia.
Tony.
So it's pretty obvious who we're going to pick. The
Clearly.
number one Tony of all time.
This guy, hype him up a bit here. This guy knows how to clean a fucking house. He'll do the laundry. He'll wash the fucking dishes. He'll fuck the employee, his employee. Okay.
His employer.
His employer.
The person paying the bill.
That's right. That's right. He also can drive a mean cab. He
was the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon from the 1990s Disney movie. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Hey!
And I'm pretty sure this guy, he played Tony on Who's the Boss. He played Tony on Taxi. He literally did a Disney movie called Garbage Picking, Field Goal Kicking Philadelphia Phenomenon. And I'm almost certain his character name in that movie was Tony.
Never seen him do anything acting wise without being called Tony. I've never seen it. I've never seen him do a show or a movie where he's not called Tony in every role.
No, he has. I've seen it.
Okay. Well,
I've seen it. But
who is it?
It's Tony.
It's Tony Danza. Who else? Who's the boss? Who's the boss, baby? It's Tony Danza. We love Tony Danza on here. You know how old Tony Danza is now, Chad? 70 years old. He just turned 70 years old.
Looks amazing.
Tony Danza, man. Love this guy. Love this guy. Not the last time you'll hear Tony on the podcast because we just love him. cannot get
we can't get enough of Tony.
No.
So I got some Tony trivia for you. Some Tony Danza trivia.
Just before you say that, I just want to say I literally was reading an article this afternoon about, I don't know if it was in People. I was reading it online, but it was done in like People magazine or something, where Tony Danza was legit talking about why in every role or most of the roles that you play is your character's name Tony.
I have his IMDb page open right now.
It's a legit thing.
Yeah, in The Good Cop, he was Tony Caruso. All right, he was Tony Caruso in The Good Cop. In Cloud 9, he's Tony Danza. So he didn't even change his last name for that movie. Family Guy, Tony Danza.
No fucking way.
Tony Danza. King in the Hill, Tony Danza.
Oh, come on, man.
On The Practice, he was Tommy Silva. So close, but not
Tommy.
On the Tony,
take the N out and put an M in. Tony.
I know. On the Tony Danza show, he was Tony DeMaio.
Oh my god.
And on Dear God, he was Tony Danza. On Hudson Street, he was Tony Canetti.
That is hilarious, man.
On Deadly Whispers, a TV movie from 1995, he was Tom.
Oh my god, so it's Tony or Tom? It's Tony or Tom? That is hilarious. So if it's not Tony, like you take out the N and there's two M's, it goes from Tony
in
to
94. In 94, in between 92 and 94, he switched it up. He did a show called Baby Talk. He was Mickey.
Oh my god. It always ends. Okay, so at least they all end in a Y.
Yes. But on Who's the Boss, he was Tony Maselli.
Hey. Oh. Hey, Tony.
And during Who's the Boss, he did a short stint on a television show called Living Dolls. He was Tony.
And before
on Mr. Belvedere, he was Tony.
Was he on Mr. Belvedere too? Oh my god. That is unbelievable.
And on Taxi, he was Tony Banta.
That is unbelievable, man. Tony Danza, the all-time Tony of all Tonys, Tony Danza.
His very first big screen, he did a TV movie in 1978. His first big break. The TV movie was called Fast Lane Blues for $1 million. What was his character name?
Tony.
Tony is right.
Oh man,
we're going like 4 decades of Tonys.
That is great. And we don't know this for sure, but I have a sneaking suspicion that before he started doing like mainstream acting, he probably dabbled a little bit in the pornography field. And so like Tony D, I think they called him Tony D.
He did. Anyway,
Tony D.
Moving on from Tony Danza, we have right now joining us on the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast, we got the young offender. We're going to bring the young offender right here. We're going to bring him in right now on the Pornhub hotline. Susie gets connected here. There he is. The young offender joins the Tip in Maple Leafs podcast. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
All right, Chad, Dale, how are you guys? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, buddy. We were just talking Tony Danza.
Yep.
And how every show that he does, he's Tony. That's his character name.
We just finished our top 5 list of the top 5 Tonys of all time.
All right. And Tony Danza came in first, right?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Tana. Sorry, all the Tony Danza characters I just named are all mixed up in my head. Tony Mancelli.
Yeah, I know.
Tommy.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Anyway, we're welcoming back Young Offender to the show here on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. How's 2022 treating you?
Feeling guys, good? It's awesome. That game with the Sens was amazing.
It was good. It was good.
I hope everybody in Tip In Nation has a beer in their hand and is chugging right now for the future.
We're getting it going. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the 2022 sort of predictions on what we think the Leafs, what's going to happen this season with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we got the Young Offender joining us right now, and we're going to go right to you first. You saw the win last night against the Sens. We were talking about, we don't know about fans coming back or how the schedule is going to look, but how are you feeling about 2022 with these Leafs? Is this a different Toronto Maple Leafs team? What are you thinking?
First of all, this is the most fun I've had watching the Toronto Maple Leafs since the 92, 93, 94 season. And we talked about this last time. This is the best Toronto Maple Leafs team I have seen in 50 years as a Leafs fan. You know, Austin Matthews is a generational player. I think he's the best Leaf ever, okay? The best Leaf goal scorer. But the biggest news of 2021 and going into 2022 is Jack Soupy Campbell. Like, you know what made that whole thing for me is the last time I was on the Tip In, All or Nothing had just aired, and it was in some ways depressing because we knew how that ended. But what that did was it gave us a 360-degree view of the players, and most importantly, Jack Campbell. Like, the guy wears his heart on his sleeve. He lives off the love of his teammates, and I'm like so engulfed in this player, and I think all Leafs fans are. You can go to 32 arenas across the NHL, and you will hear the Soupy chant in every single one of them. Vancouver, LA, Winnipeg, it doesn't matter. Everybody's there for Jack Campbell, and he feeds off that.
Well, that's what sucks about last night, man, because we've been hearing it all season long, and he really missed that. He gets his 4th shutout of the season last night, and really missed hearing those chants. It would have been going hard for him last night, but not like he had a lot of work to do. Like Ottawa.
That's what she said.
Jesus, yeah. Ottawa, just what a fucking shit
except
show.
Except for that super fan who flew in from Alberta.
Super fan.
We didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't.
What's the story in this guy?
Dude, do you see his basement? That's all time shit.
Is that
right
the guy that was at the game?
Yeah, I think they said he has like what they put a dollar amount on his like memorabilia, and it was, I can't remember what they said it was. Over 100,000. Over, what did they say it was?
It was $100K, but that wasn't
like over $100,000.
It was his mom's basement, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, probably. Sure. No, he's married and got kids, because I was reading a story that he had to leave his wife and kids behind for New Year's and do like a quarantine or some shit in order to go to the game. So he said, fuck the wife and fuck the kids. I'm going to the Leafs game. I'm going to be the only fan in the building.
Yeah.
You imagine this guy? He's never been to a Leafs game. That was his first fucking one.
Yeah, but think, no lineup at the bathroom, no lineup at the beer line.
Like, you can't drink beer.
I'm sure they can't let one guy drink beer.
No way, man. Mask on whole time.
Okay, how many beers would you have in your coat?
That'd be a little hard to pull off when you're like the only fan in the building. Like there's no one around, right? They had him up in like the press box. He might have been with Dubas or close to Dubas. So
no, you don't. No, he's probably all by himself.
I think I told you guys I was supposed to go to Switzerland like this month, and everything there got canceled. Olympics, like NHL's not going.
Do you think the Olympics might get canceled or postponed to next year?
In Tokyo.
Yeah, they did it with the Summer Olympics. Are they going to do it with the winter? I don't know. It seems weird that in like 3 weeks, people are going to start packing their bags and heading out to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Dude,
It just seems weird.
China's super. I live in Beijing. Actually, my house is in Beijing. And
Are you in Beijing right now, or where are you?
No. I'm in like the freest country in the world, Mexico. There's no PCR tests. People are wearing masks, but like everything is pretty cool. But where I live in Beijing, it's a 56-day protocol if I re-enter the country. The part of Beijing is like 28 days of
56 days.
No joke.
56 days of like just sitting in your house?
14 days in a government facility, 14 days in my house, and 28 days of daily monitoring, QR codes, swabs, everything.
That's fucking nuts.
Just stay in Mexico.
Right.
Just stay in
Canada, man. Canada is like, what's happening in Canada? Tell me.
Well, it's minus 15 right now outside, but it's great because I got the backyard rink going. So good time to flood it. Good time to get the water on it.
Is it a real rink or one of the? Oh, cool.
Like it's built just from scrap wood, a frame, and then a tarp laying on, just like old school.
Dude, let's hit the ice, man. Next time I'm back.
Well, it's not that big, but yeah, you could skate on it. It's awesome. So the cold weather means outdoor rink.
Perfect. Guys, let me ask you, who the fuck was Nick Ritchie blowing to stay on the ice, man? Just tell me who it was.
I don't think they had another option. Like Mikheyev was hurt, so like who else were they going to put in?
Yeah. Now that all the forwards are healthy, I was surprised that it was Nick Ritchie. And we talked about this in the first segment that we were surprised because we thought $2.5 million, you can't take him out of the lineup, but they did. And they looked awesome.
Awesome.
How does he get back in? Who do you take out? Engvall looked good playing with Spezza and Simmons. If Mikheyev was flying, who do you take out? You can't take out anybody.
If you compare Engvall and Ritchie, like, just on their skating alone, because we talked about this off the top, Chad. The way Sheldon Keefe loves, like, he doesn't like putting guys in that can't skate well, and Ritchie can't skate worth shit. He's a terrible fucking skater. So, like, just on skating alone, like, if you're playing on the fourth line with Spezza and Simmons and you're only going to get 10 minutes a night, I want a guy there that can fucking skate, personally. So, absolutely. Like, I think Keefe looks at that and it's like, look, Engvall can skate fucking circles around Nick Ritchie.
Yeah.
Like, Ritchie's just going to slow that line down, which is not bad, I guess, if they're going to, like, play.
But do you keep him for certain types of games? Do you keep him when you're playing a more physical team? Like when you're playing the Boston Bruins, maybe you want Nick Ritchie instead of Engvall.
Is he even that physical though? Really?
He's not like really, a big hitter, but he's a big boy, right?
Yeah, look at Winnipeg. I mean, Ritchie got into a fight, but so did 5 other Leafs. Right?
Hang on, wait a sec, Chad. Wait a second. You know who you could throw in for a game, for that Bruins game or that Winnipeg game, a hell of a lot cheaper?
Kyle Clifford,
man.
You're right.
He'll probably bring you more than fucking Nick Ritchie. Get Nick. They got to find a way to get this guy.
I said this. I got to find a way to get him out segment. Maybe the young offender will agree with me on this, but I said in the first segment, by the end of January, he'll be on waivers. Nick Ritchie will be on waivers. They will be trying to get rid of that contract however they can. They're not going to trade it, but you can put it on waivers and try to bury as much as you can.
Well, they should try to trade it, but I don't think you're going to.
You're not going to trade it.
No. Probably not.
Well, they tried to showcase him. That's probably the reason. It's not blowjobs, but it's like showcase. That's why he was on the ice so long. They were feeding him. Everybody was feeding him. Great job in the neutral zone. Nice screen, Ritchie.
Yeah. Doesn't it remind you of Dion Phaneuf? Remember when they were trying to trade Dion Phaneuf and they all kept coming out being like, oh, he's such a great pro and he shows up every day. And we're all like, are you watching the games? He sucks. But they were able to trade him. I felt like that too. Keefe coming out and talking about, Ritchie does a lot of good things, like a lot of good things. We watch the games. Ritchie does not do any good things, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build him up to maybe get something back.
Yeah, that's right.
You see all the passes in front of the net? Like his goal, he was parked right in front of the net, shot in. I could have gotten that goal and I wouldn't have charged 2.5.
He made a pass on a power play and they dissected it like Keefe and everybody dissected it like it was the greatest pass in NHL history. I don't get it.
Look, man, I don't know where they're at next. I think Mikheyev does not have a contract after this year. Cachet needs a new contract.
Yeah.
Sandin and Liljegren are going to need new contracts. You can probably get those guys for $1 million each. But like, I wouldn't mind keeping Mikheyev around. I definitely would like keeping Cachet around. So
hell yeah,
$2.5 million. Like, there's 3 guys that come to mind right for me right now. Like, and it's, well, definitely $2.5 million for fucking Richie. That has to go, but $3.5 million on Kerfoot and 3.8 on Mrazek. Those are the guys. Like, that frees you up almost $10 million if you find a way to ship those fucking 3 out. And I know I like the way Kerfoot has played, but again, I can't take Kerfoot at that price tag when I want to keep like Mikheyev for Cachet or Kerfoot.
Exactly.
I'll take I'll take the other 2.
Yeah. That third line at the Sens game, what could be a second line in a lot of teams.
Kerfoot's just a dude. Like, he's played well with Nylander and Tavares, but maybe Robertson can fill that spot next year if he can stay healthy. Or maybe they sign Hosang and they get Hosang fucking finally in the fucking lineup next year. Like, something. It's just too much money. They have to. Campbell needs a fucking contract.
Exactly. Like, that's what they need. He's core 4. This guy's core 1. Like, I would even put him ahead of Matthews in terms of his contribution this year.
Wow, let's not get carried away here. Let's not go crazy now.
This isn't Alberta Pornhub searches.
Campbell will, like, listen, goaltending wins playoff rounds. And I'm not even caring about
I know, man. Jack's
regular season. Great. I'm just thinking about the playoffs because this is preseason for me. I'm watching how they respond. And it's not a knock on Austin Matthews, but if somebody can totally decide a game, it's Campbell over and over again.
I don't know.
Okay,
but they say that all the time.
Your prediction for 2022, guys. Let me hear yours. Like, what are you guys predicting? I got a couple more, but like, let me hear from Chad.
Here's my prediction from 2022 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm assuming is what you're asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's my prediction for 2022 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. By the end of January, Nick Ritchie will be on waivers, number 1. Number 2, Austin Matthews will win the Rocket Richard Trophy by the end of the year if they play all the games. Number 3, they will win a playoff round this year. Will they win 2? I don't know. Will they win 3? I don't know. But they will get by the first round. And just like Young Offender said, we all talk about Matthews. We all talk about Marner. We all talk about Nylander. It's going to be because of Soup. Soup is going to steal the first round for this team. And he's already like one of my favorite people, not just players, like one of my favorite people. He's going to become a part of this city to the point where Kyle Dubas has no choice but to sign this guy. Just back up the truck and be like, fuck, you're on whatever it takes. Stay.
That's going to be difficult though, man.
But can you see Soupy stealing around for this team?
I think a lot of other things need to happen as well for that to happen.
What needs to happen?
Well, the big boys that make all the money need to show up, all of them, or at least 3 of them.
What if Spezza scores a couple goals and they win 2-0?
Well, that's great, but we're not going to where we want them to go if the guys that are running the show don't fucking run the show.
They're going to get to the playoffs.
No, great. They're great. I don't give a fuck about getting to the playoffs. If they get bounced again in the first round, who gives a fuck? It'll be all for naught anyway.
They're not this year.
Okay,
what's your prediction for this season?
I think I don't really have any. I'm like living one day at a time here with this fucking team because I don't know what's coming around the corner.
Okay, but if you had to just gun to your head, do they win a playoff round?
I think they do, but it's going to be difficult because they're probably playing Tampa Bay or the Florida Panthers. That's not easy. If you have to beat
stupid way the NHL.
If you have to beat the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions to win your first playoff series in 18 years, that's a tall fucking task, man. So maybe it doesn't happen, and maybe it's not because the Leafs aren't good enough or they can't do it. Maybe it's just because like you're playing Tampa, like.
But you know, if they're playing Florida though.
That's a 50-50.
Toronto wins in goaltending.
I don't know.
And I go to what Chad just said.
I think that's a 50-50 series.
Steal a series for them. A hot goalie will steal the series.
Okay, well,
is it crazy that I feel more comfortable playing Tampa Bay than I do the Panthers?
Really?
You want you want a healthy Tampa Bay Lightning team in the playoffs.
We said this last year that if they got to the Cup final like the Canadiens did, they would have given Tampa, even though they lost to Montreal, they would have given Tampa a run for their money in the Cup final.
Yeah, but they always play good against.
They always play good against Tampa. It's like the same style of hockey, and I'm going to put my money on the fresher legs. I'm going to put my money on the team that hasn't played a million games in the last two seasons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they play the same style of game. Like Stamkos looks good right now, but how long until Stamkos just fucking clamps out like he does every season?
No, that makes sense. But Kucherov will be back and he'll be healthy. Like
all right, so put Kucherov up against a healthy Austin Matthews. I put my money on Matthews.
Yeah, but Kucherov will be even fresher because he basically missed the whole season again. Yeah. He'll just be coming back to the playoffs. And
I just think eventually you can't win 3 cups in a row. It just doesn't happen.
If anybody can do it, these guys might.
I don't know. I honestly would rather play the Tampa Bay Lightning than the Florida Panthers.
Okay, like I'm not going. I'll let you get back to the predictions in a second here. But
maybe with Joe Quenneville not there, maybe I want the Florida Panthers.
Let me just.
You don't want that ball grabbing mustache son of a bitch coaching anywhere near your team.
No. He's done. He's fucking. His days are over. But look, let me throw this out. Do you think the Stanley Cup champions come from the East or the West this season? Both of you.
East.
Okay, so
the West is so weak, man.
Okay, so who in the West would you be concerned about in a Cup final?
Colorado.
Yeah, I was gonna say Colorado.
If they get a goalie, if not,
that's what.
But it's the same with Panthers too. Like I would put up.
Who scares you in the West
against Florida goaltending?
In the West, I think it's probably Minnesota might be the best team in the Western Conference. Yeah, honestly. So.
Minnesota's a dirty fucking team, man.
They just grind you down. Like
they grind you right down.
So, and but in the so we're not super concerned in the West about really anybody. Like we'll see what happens in the second half. But in the East, how many teams legitimately do you think could win the Stanley Cup in the Eastern Conference?
Oh my God.
Well, name them. Start naming them.
Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs, Washington Capitals.
Okay, so anyway, the 3 top teams in the Atlantic, Washington, I would put Pittsburgh in there because Malkin's coming back. They're going to be healthy. Crosby, Tristan Jarry played well.
Do you think the Penguins and the Flyers are on the same level as the Lightning, the Leafs, the Panthers, and the Capitals?
A healthy Pittsburgh, maybe.
Yeah, they've done it before.
I don't think the calculus is who can win the Stanley Cup. It's who can beat the Leafs. Okay, Boston can beat the Leafs. Pittsburgh has beaten the Leafs twice. For sure. Like Boston has their number, just like Montreal, had them spaced out between the ears. They won. And Boston can do the same thing, right? It's psychological.
Yeah, Boston.
I would love a playoff series against the Boston Bruins. Love it.
No, I'm afraid of that. Honestly,
I'm not.
Tampa Bay.
Don't be afraid.
It's going to be a series. I think we could beat Florida. Tampa Bay is 50-50. Like we've traded wins this season. So
we play the Lightning very well, but what better way to exercise the demons than to fuck the Boston Bruins?
Yeah. It looks like the only way that might happen though
is a wild
card. So
yeah, I said that in an earlier podcast. Like knowing the Leafs, they'll go on a run and win the division, and their prize is the fucking Boston Bruins.
I think you're forgetting one very dangerous team.
Carolina.
Well, fuck yeah, Carolina. They're the top. They'd be my biggest worry, but that's not even who I was going to say.
Because Rod Brindamore.
Well, dude, Carolina. I think right now, if I'm calling a Cup winner, it's the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, I can't even believe I didn't mention them in the first 4. Carolina Hurricanes.
We'll get back to that. That's not even who I was going to say. I'm talking about the BJs, baby.
Oh,
the big bad BJs.
You want Columbus Blue Jackets?
You want any part of that shit?
I want it every day.
Well. No. Not in the hot spring night, like it's going to be too hot. It's going to be too hot and sticky. You don't want any part of that shit. No, thank you. No.
Well, we've had a BJ in the bubble.
It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be sticky. It's going to be stinky. It's going to be smell. Okay. It's going to be bad news in the spring if we come across the BJs. Okay. Trust me.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, okay. Like seriously, Carolina Hurricanes. There's my bold prediction. The Carolina Hurricanes will win the Stanley Cup.
Okay, here we go. Around the table.
I think they're the best team in the league.
Round the table. No time to think. Stanley Cup winner. We'll start with the young offender. Stanley Cup winner. No time to think. Go. You're thinking.
Colorado.
Dale.
Carolina.
Chad. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah. You know what? I'm picking Toronto Maple Leafs for the next 2 years to make
I picked them every year and I look like an ass, but I'm doing it till it happens.
Chad, the last time the Leafs were in the Eastern Conference Final was against the Carolina Hurricanes. They lost in overtime in Game 6. Carolina went on to lose in the Stanley Cup Final to Detroit. Here we go. Why not have an Eastern Conference Final of the Leafs and the Hurricanes? But this time, the
Jeff
Leafs...
O'Neill's on our side.
Yeah, well, this time the Leafs get it done to get to the Stanley Cup Final. I don't know.
Listen, before we wrap this up, I think we should do our final segment, but I think we should do it with Young Offender. We're putting him on the spot, but I think we should do it.
I don't know. It's our first one, so that's a tough one.
I think we should do it. He can come up with something on the spot.
Okay.
I'm going to come up with something on the spot.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we bring this episode to a close, we got a new segment here on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. When there's no tip-ins, when John Tavares isn't tipping in, when Matthews isn't tipping in, we got, what is it called? Tip-in tips?
Tip-in tips, a.k.a. tits.
So basically, you are going to get a tip from the tip-in. Just any life tip. It doesn't have to be
a little life advice,
a little life advice.
Just nice and light, a little, just a nice little light piece of advice to the listeners. A nice light piece of advice.
So let's roll the intro right now.
Tips. And now for the porn. So first I want to lay down on the counter, and what's going to happen is I want to take just a moment and I want to make myself nice and wet. And you know what else? I always like to use that wonderful porn. Oh gosh, look at that. I love that. Delicious. I can go all the way to the bottom and not make a mess of my nice pretty pink. Whoop. Woo. But you know what? Now it's taste time. Tips.
All right, here we go.
Okay, what do you got? You got any tips? You got a little tip?
Give us a life tip, a young offender life tip.
Young offender live tip-in tip.
Tits. Just give them the tits.
Is exactly.
Give us your titties.
Related to what I watch with Nick Ritchie. It's not who you know. It's who you blow.
Oh, see, that's perfect. That's it right there.
Unbelievable.
That was great. Great. Off the cuff, that was fucking great, man. It's not who you know, it's who you blow. That is 100%.
I'm gonna go now. Second. Can I steal? Okay, I just thought of this. This is one of my favorite lines. It's not who you know, who you blow. That is incredible.
That's a perfect tip. That's great for the first tip. That's a juicy tip right out of the gate.
But I just want to say that.
So is this your tip here?
This is my tip. Okay, this is my tip.
All right, let's get.
If anyone ever watched Ferris Bueller growing up, I honestly
love it.
Fucking one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seen it probably 30 times.
This isn't as good.
My life on it.
But he says something, and I remember being a kid, and this line stuck with me forever, where he says,
Cameron.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you just might miss it. And that is a tip I think everybody should learn. He also says that Cameron is so tight that if you shoved a piece of coal up his ass in 2 weeks, you'd have a diamond.
Totally. That's another good tip. I think that might have been said right when Ferris's girlfriend Sloane Peterson was they were downtown. They were in the car.
Come along now, Sloane. Get in the car.
Ferris's father is like in a taxi or some shit, right? Remember, he's like making eye contact with like winking and like licking the window to Ferris's girlfriend, Sloane Peterson. Oh, that was great, man. Sloane Peterson, I'll tell you right now.
You're the sausage king of Chicago.
Peterson. Hottest 80s movies babes ever.
She was great. All right, Dale. The number one tip-in tip of the week is?
Well, look, like with all that's going on in the world nowadays with COVID and you can't go to the games and all this and like in Ontario, don't go out, blah, 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 whatever, all this shit, right? I just think it might be a nice little time to, everybody that's, missing going to the games and missing maybe you can't play your recreational hockey or things like that. So I think like right now, I would just like to, my tip is this: don't be afraid to play a little. Okay, here's the tip. Do not be afraid, okay? Do not be afraid to play a little ding-da-ling, ding-ding-ding, ding-da-ling, ding-ding. Just you play a little ball hockey. You play a little ball.
Okay, ball hockey. All right,
ball hockey, okay? Now, this
didn't know what ding-ding-ling was, but I get it now.
Ding-ding-ling, you're just playing a little ball hockey. Now, this would include you grip the shaft and you whack the balls around. You whack the balls around and you just let it fucking fly freely. Maybe you call Eddie Balfour. He comes around, he gets in the net. Maybe you take a shower, put on the leather jacket, you have a couple beers, one thing leads to another. You're playing ball hockey with Eddie Balfour. Ding-ding, ding-ding-ding-ding.
So you walk in the shower and Eddie Balfour's soaping himself up and he's just singing to himself, ding-ding-ding-ding-ding.
That's like the SOS code for get ready, ball.
Get ready. We're playing ball hockey in the shower.
Yeah. He's just sending out an SOS. Ball hockey code stuff. Ding 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 ding. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid during this time to play a little ball hockey. Explore yourself. Okay, grab the shaft, find the balls, just go exploring, play a little ball hockey. There's a tip.
Well, listen, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, email us at the Tip In Podcast at gmail.com. Check out our YouTube channel, the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you to the young offender for joining us today on this episode. And until next time, the three of us will
catch you later.